What is going on, guys, and welcome to the Yeti Express DFS podcast, presented to you today, as always, by Draftdashboard.com. Remember, if you want to try out these tools that I'm using, you can do so by clicking my link in the description below and or by clicking my comment in the comment section below. There will be a link down there for you guys. If this is your first time viewing my channel, I please urge you to like and subscribe to this channel. I'm fairly new in the DFS community. Some people have heard of me, some people have not. It's a growing channel as our viewership has seemed to tick up a little bit every single day. So if you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. We will get into the position optimizer as we do every day. We'll start at point guard. I usually start out by going through the position optimizer and going through the plays that I like, throwing them into my watch players tab, and then I usually like to mass generate some lineups at the end of the video. So if you're into that, you will see that at the end of this video. I usually like to play the DraftKings single entry tournaments and the 20 max tournaments, just to kind of give you a base of the tournaments that I like to play in. Point guard for Friday, February 8th, I believe it is. February 8th. It's a Friday. There you go. First pick I like is Eric Bledsoe. As you can see, he's got a 100 dash rank. He's been playing really well lately, 53-39 against Dallas. He's done better in the last two, which I'm assuming they've probably only played once this season against each other, or zero, so that would have been all last year. So the recency log against the actual team is really not all that important when you get East-West matchups. But I just like what he's been doing lately. He's been getting a lot of steals. He's got a great price on him at $6,700. He's a super consistent player with a small upside available too. So I would put his floor at somewhere between 28 and his ceiling at about 45. So he's got a nice range on him. He'll get you a good price tag. Safe play. Like him quite a bit. The other play that I like at point guard, I'll mention a few guys in every position, but I also really like Chris Dunn. And Chris Dunn's a player I seem to like quite a bit. I just think that he's going to see more time on the floor without some of their higher usage guys now that Bobby Portis is traded. So I like the Levines, the Dunns. I like the Markkanens of the world today, just because I think that's where a lot of their scoring came from. Bobby Portis was traded to Washington, I believe. He's an interesting play for me. Bobby Portis is. We'll get to him later on in the video. But Chris Dunn, 6,500. He's kind of a boomer bust play. He's kind of safe as well, but I would say he's more of a boomer bust because he'll either get you 25 or he can get you up to 50. He's got a pretty big spread on him as far as the range goes. Another player that I would be interested in is Monte Morris, and this just has everything to do with the Jamal Murray. He was back last game, but if he were for whatever reason to miss this game, he just becomes an elite value at 5K. His price dropped because Murray came back. So if Murray's out on Friday, then fire him up easy. Don't really have to get too in detailed on that one. Shooting guard. Shooting guard today, I like Andrew Wiggins. Again, this is just another mid-range play. He's just been playing very well against since Ryan Saunders has taken over as the head coach. He had a decent game last night, and first time these guys played, Wiggins had 21 shot attempts. That's something that I like quite a bit. It's a pace-up spot for Minnesota as New Orleans plays at a faster pace, more possessions, bad team defense, and a bad defensive rank. And I don't think there's Drew Holiday's interesting to me if somebody like Anthony Davis doesn't play. He hasn't played. They haven't really released any news on him. He wasn't traded. He's still with the team. So Anthony Davis becomes really... if they're going to play him, then Drew Holiday is not even in play. But if Anthony Davis doesn't play or Julius Randle is still out, it has a lot to do with whether or not I like him. So I won't actually keep him in my pool right now, but it'll change throughout the day. Remember, if you sign up through my link for Draft Dashboard, you will get access to my player pool every single day. So that's another perk of by using my link, is you'll get to see my plays every single day. Other shooting guards I like, Oubre. Again, if Devin Booker misses, he's like a lock for me. He's another mid-range play, but I just think that without Devin Booker, you're looking at the Justin Jacksons and the Oubres of the world. And even if Devin Booker does play, Oubre is going to be the first guy off the bench. And I think that in this game against Golden State, it could get to the bench pretty early, because I think Golden State will kind of wax them. But I think Oubre will soak up a lot of the blowout run and the bench minutes in this game. Nobody else down here in the mid-range value. We'll go to small forward. Small forward, Jimmy Butler, I don't believe his projection is right. I highly doubt that he's projected for 55 points. But I did like Kevin Durant, and this is a guy that's burned me many times this year. I seem to like him almost every single day, but I feel like something's going to finally happen here with him. Trey Lyles, now that he has small forward eligibility, this is a guy who's benefited in the last few games. Super value play here. A guy that's benefited quite a bit with Paul Millsap being out the past couple of games. Luol Deng's been interesting lately. I don't think he did a whole lot on Thursday, but we'll throw him in. We'll throw him in our pool. Justin Jackson we'll throw in there. Again, same thing. I just got done talking about Oubre. And power forward. Power forward for me, I really liked. I like Julius Randle if he plays, but my number one play would be Lauri Markkanen. Last time out against Brooklyn, he killed him. He's been getting a lot more run lately. Portis is also off the team now, so I think that could increase his minutes. Something to keep an eye on. Marvin Bagley's been playing really well. I like him, but I won't play him at 6,200, so he's out of my pool for today's. Bobby Portis, I don't expect him to be available for this game, but if he is for whatever reason, he becomes really interesting to me. I see another player I seem to like quite a bit. I highly doubt that they'll have the physical and all that cleared by then, so make sure you keep an eye on the players that were recently traded, and make sure you go to like RotoWire and watch the injury report before you. I always log on to RotoWire at like 5:45 and just look at the projected starting lineups. You'll know if people are in and out by then. It's a really good way of getting news information. Also, Twitter is highly recommended for starting lineups. You can follow certain people on Twitter. It'll really help you out. That kind of information will really help you out. So make sure you do your studying before you just cram in a bunch of lineups. I always like to check at about 5:30, so then you can make the adjustments that you need to make. Karl Anthony Towns is going to be my center. He's just played really well against New Orleans. Look at 79-70, 54-48, 52. He's just going to have to take on everything that he possibly can to keep this one close. He just plays well against them. I like Griffin. I like Drummond. I was on Drummond. His last game out, he had a 50 burger. Price came up a little bit. I don't think I'll get much Drummond, even though they're playing the same team and I had him against last time. But I do still like him. I just think his price has fallen to a point where he's, at one point this year he was like 10-3 and now he's down to 8. I got him at 8-3 the other day when they played the Knicks. Now he's 8.6, so he's still got a decent price tag on him, but his performance has obviously gone along with that. So make sure you get him at the right price, and then you get off him. DeMarcus Cousins is interesting, but this to me seems like a game where they may rest him. I don't think they're going to try and put too much pressure on him and beat him into the ground. There's no reason for a guy like Cousins to play against the Suns. If he does for whatever reason, I'll have him in a few lineups. He's a good player. I mean, he's gonna score. He's got a great draft rank. He's got a great. Obviously, the Suns can't stop anyone. The only problem with the Warriors is it's just hard because there's so many guys that can do it. Klay Thompson can do it. Curry can do it. Durant can do it. Cousins can do it. Like they got so many guys on their team that can just get it done. DeAndre Ayton is interesting. He's played well against the Warriors in his career, so we'll keep him in there. One thing with Ayton, which is kind of neat, is even in blowouts, he still gets about the same amount of run. So he's kind of like blowout proof. So if they get blown out, he still will probably play his normal minutes. So he's pretty interesting to me. Alrighty. Here's some other things that we offer at Draft Dashboard. We have an NBA cheat sheet, which will give you the... I'll go over it. They haven't updated it yet for Friday. This is early Friday morning, so this would have been Thursday. Here was Thursday. They usually update this at about 9 or 10 in the morning, but it'll just kind of show you of like what you can do with the website. It gives you percent owns, the locks, the studs, the mid range, and then the value. Like you could have had Dario Saric was a great value yesterday. JaVale McGee was a pretty good value. So they're pretty accurate on some of this, on most of this stuff. Like here, Rajon Rondo, mid-range play at 2%. He killed it. He had a triple-double. Same with DeRozan, huge game. Lowry, huge game. So they're pretty accurate with most of the stuff. They're not just flying stuff out there. And then I like to go into the lineup optimizer. So this is usually I build my single entry lineup from this. This is on DraftKings. I would go and get off of Durant, and we can go get Wiggins, and we can go get a guy like Chris Dunn. Point guard, we can go get Bledsoe. Go get someone like Towns. And we'll start cutting salary here. Get some Oubre in there. Portis, if he plays, is super interesting. Just one of those guys you got to keep an eye on. Never know what you're going to get with these guys that are going through trying to pass physicals and stuff. So you can put someone like Trey Lyles in there. And like Iguodala. Something like this makes for a really good lineup. This would be something I would enter into a single entry contest. I usually play a single entry, and then I usually do a 20 max entry and max it out. FanDuel, I don't play on FanDuel as much, but I still know what's going on over here. One thing I'll say about FanDuel is I always recommend having at least two players from 3,500 to 4,200 because of the low score drop on FanDuel. It's not something that happens on DraftKings, but you need to basically calculate yourself to say that one of our players is going to be dropped. So it makes more sense to take value plays on FanDuel opposed to DraftKings, because if they don't hit, you can drop them. And if you have, if you pick two guys in that range, one of them you expect to do okay, and then the other one you'll drop. So it allows you to pay up for studs more over here. So I would, on FanDuel over here, we could do Drummond. We could do, this is a pretty decent lineup as it is, but I probably wouldn't have we'll go like Wiggins. We can get off Iguodala and get not a whole lot in that range. Get Wiggins. We'll build an Ayton lineup over here. Ayton, Markkanen. Dang would be our punt. Oubre we like quite a bit. And then we could just go up and get somebody like Devin Booker, Jimmy Butler. There's a lot of guys on this list. Or we could just go all the way up and get... I mean, so this is why I like to talk about the punting, because like just with this lineup, by having Luol Deng, I'm pretty much allowed to do whatever I want to. So I went and got Ayton. Then we could go Dunn and Bledsoe, and then we could just go all the way up to like Booker if we wanted to go someone like that. But I don't play on FanDuel. Just something that I like to go over to some of the viewers that play over there to help understand why they should be doing certain things. Alrighty, and then this is my favorite tool from Draft Dashboard. This is a mass lineup generator, so we'll make 40 lineups. We'll keep our maximum exposure. Maximum exposure basically says, okay, we like Chris Dunn, for example. We can put him at 40% capped ownership. We'll keep the medium randomness, unique players at 1, generate lineups. So this is one of my favorite tools because I like to play 20 lines in the 20 max tournaments. It really helps boost out a bunch of lineups at one time. While we're waiting for this, though, please, guys, like this video. Subscribe to this video. I'm really trying to boost my channel. I've had Chris and the DFS Bachelor both really helping me boost my channel here, and I can't thank those guys enough from Draft Dashboard. Means the world to me. So thank you guys, and also thank you to everyone that stopped by before this video. The DFS community has been great, so thank you again. Hats off to you guys. And here's the mass lineup generator. So this is what it spits out for tomorrow. So this is the best lineup that it's projecting. It's got a 272. Colin Sexton, Jimmy Butler, Andre Drummond, Joe Harris, Julius Randle, DeAndre Ayton, Larry Nance, Trey Lyles. Jimmy Butler's projection I don't think is accurate, but they'll fix that tomorrow, so you'll see a lot of him. So something like this, since this one doesn't have Butler. Dennis Smith, Andrew Wiggins, Durant, Bledsoe, those are all plays we liked. Morris, Powell, Thompson, Ayton, solid lineup there. So you can kind of play around with this, and I mean, look, there's going to be 40 of them. I mean, I could scroll through these all day. You know, it's kind of nice to like just find one that you like and just fine tune it a little bit. Like this one, for example, you probably wouldn't be playing Felicio, but anyways, thanks again for stopping by, guys. I appreciate all the support, and good luck on Friday.